What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We had a very interesting start to the 2021 trading year with the markets falling about 1%. So it wasn't a huge move, but it is something definitely to look at. The markets kind of tanked off. They actually gapped up and just tanked off during the day. And we're going to be talking about what we see the market doing in the short-term future during this video. But we also have some very important news with the United Kingdom on how they have new lockdowns set in place. And then in the rest of this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin and other stocks that we're watching for the rest of this week. If you aren't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, what are we watching in the markets right now?
Yeah, you can really see how the markets tanked off earlier this morning, and I'm not going to get too political here, but CNBC reports that the S&P 500 and the Dow hit a new record early in the morning, as we can see here, pretty early on the futures, actually like 4 a.m. Central Time or 5 a.m. Eastern Time, and you can actually see how the market really tanked off of this. And this was because there was actually a phone call released of President Trump talking to Georgia officials, and after this was released, apparently people are now saying the Democrats are going to win the Senate runoff elections in Georgia. And I'm not trying to get political in any way, but this is why we saw the market fall today. It's just, political uncertainty here, and this is just what you have to expect whenever we have election years, especially as crazy of years as 2020 has been. This just even adds to the fuel. We've had the virus going on. Now we have the elections to worry about. And then even Bitcoin is up really high. But there's just a lot of things to worry about with the market. And really, this fall I saw today was pretty bad. And it's going to be pretty worrisome over the next couple of days.
For sure. And another thing to keep in mind is the VIX today. So VXX was up just under 9% today, which is a pretty big move, and it had solid volume too. Basically what happens is normally when the VIX rises, it just means that options on the S&P 500 index get more expensive. And normally when that happens, there's a lot of volatility in the markets. And normally when the VIX rises, the stock market falls. So it's just another thing to keep your eyes on for the rest of this week.
Yep, and then also there's actually a lot of Bitcoin news still going on. You can see I have an Ethereum chart up here, but you can see how much Ethereum has actually been popping. There was a small pullback today, though, on Bitcoin. Let me pull up the price of that. You can see Bitcoin is up here around 32,000 right now, but there was a pullback this morning all the way down to around 28,500, and then we came all the way back up to 32,000. So it was good to see Bitcoin pop back up. The stock RIOT, which is Riot, they ended up falling about 16% from their pre-market highs off of that move, which is pretty bad. You can see that Riot did not recover back like Bitcoin did. Bitcoin recovered back to highs, but Riot actually stayed low. So that's not good news for the people who are playing Riot based off of Bitcoin movement. But at the same time, it's good to see Bitcoin going up like this. And it's just, a lot of people have it, and it would be terrible to see Bitcoin start to crash right now and start to go down. I'm not saying it's going to go down to 3,000 again, but if we saw it crash like it did before, that would hurt a lot of people who just bought at the top.
For sure. And I do expect a lot of volatility with Bitcoin. Like you said, it went from 3,000 all the way to 34,000. So it is volatile by nature, but in the long run, I think it should be just fine. I see a lot of potential for it in the long run, but I think we just have to expect a ton of volatility in the short term with Bitcoin and a lot of other cryptocurrencies. So Tom, was there any other major news in the market today?
At the end of the day, some more news actually broke that could actually hurt the markets more. It's British Prime Minister Boris Johnson imposes a national lockdown on England to combat a new COVID variant. And we all know about the new strain from the UK, and now there's also one from Africa. So the virus keeps staying in the headlines, Mike. And I know that this is a pretty big revelation to end the day. You can see the markets didn't crash at the end of the day off of this news or anything, but I would definitely think that this would affect it overnight and heading into tomorrow, especially if more countries start shutting down. And imagine if we shut down again, then you just imagine, look at how bad the daily chart looks on the S&P whenever we shut down last year. If we do that again this year, and we're only a couple months away from February and March again. So just be careful, a new strain's out the same time as last year, and we saw this big crash, and right now we're at new highs again. So we could possibly see another pullback, I think. possibly down to like 3,100 or even like 3,200 on the SPY. That's just my levels that I see in the long term for a pullback.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant pullback. I mean, we would definitely need some sort of really powerful news to get down to those levels, obviously. But yeah, those are the next support. Also, the $3,400 level, which was a previous all-time high back in 2020. But yeah, I mean, really, it's all about the catalyst we get. If we have bad COVID news, or it just depends. If like a black swan event happens, that can definitely drag the markets down. But with that being said, let's get right into our Discord member of the day. Today's member of the day is Carnegie Steele. So Carnegie's always in the Discord chat, helping other members and being positive. So Tom and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Carnegie for all he does. So thank you, Carnegie. And let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. The first one is MGM to the downside.
Yeah, this stock got destroyed today. Make them fall below 29.50. But these stocks are going to do terrible, especially if more COVID news starts coming out. Those casino stocks will really get hurt. And just like I said, if we shut down like the UK, this could really hurt these types of stocks.
Yep. And then we have QS.
QS. This one's also to the downside. Make them fall below 47.40.
All right. And then we have FUBO.
Fubo, yeah, the two most popular ones lately, QS and Fubo. Make Fubo fall below 23.
All right. And then we have ACB, but to the upside.
Yeah, well, look at this. The cannabis stock's doing pretty good here. Make them pop above 967, but this actually looks pretty like a pretty good setup here for the long term, possibly.
Yeah, for sure. Even CGC was doing pretty good today, too. It's up about 6%. ACB was definitely the leader, up just under 15%. But yeah, it's definitely showing a lot of potential. When these weed stocks run, they normally run for a couple of days. And if these weed stocks start to catch momentum, this thing can run up to $11 or $12 or even higher. So definitely keep your eyes on that. And we're eyeing MGM, QS, and Fubo potentially to the downside, and ACB potentially to the upside, only if they break only if they break the levels Tom listed. But now for the unusual options activity for tomorrow, we are looking at QS again, and someone put about $1.6 million into the QS 35 strike puts that expire February 2nd, or no, actually February 19th of 2021. So overall, QS is just tanking. They had a horrible day today, down about 40%. We actually made a video on this. I want to say like a week or two ago, and QS is just not looking too good. They were just way overhyped last month and even in November. There's just way too much hype behind them. So I can definitely see them continuing to fall. But the thing with QS is their options are extremely expensive. So you have to be very careful with this one. Just trading shares would probably be the best way to go in riding momentum like that. Or even if you like sold like call credit spreads or put credit spreads or even like iron condors, I think that would be the best way to go because the options are so expensive.
Yeah, definitely. And this stock was really overhyped, and I think that there could be a pretty good lesson to learn here for a lot of traders who actually had gotten into QuantumScape up here at the top. This was a pretty overhyped stock, and I know that we had tons of questions of people asking if they should be buying this and holding it for the long term. And this is what we mean whenever we say these stocks are overhyped and they can fall, guys. Look at this, 138 all the way down to 50 within just a few days, and this is what we talk about whenever there's just way too much momentum to the upside.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, you look at the stock and it's one thing if an option goes from 138 down to $50, but like the actual stock lost over 50% of its value, which is just it's insane. It goes from 130 down to 50. So yeah, just be very careful out there. There's a lot of hype stocks. Just be very careful buying into these stocks that seem to just only go up because there definitely will be those pullbacks. So let's get right into our questions from the previous episode. And we have Monica saying NIO, Tesla, and ETH. ETH will be the biggest movers this week. So let's take a look at NIO. It had a pretty solid day today, up just under 10%. Looks like it might be retesting its all-time highs right around 57. Tom, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, NIO's doing pretty good. Just be careful of the head and shoulders. We're sitting right on this shoulder here around 54.50. So just be really careful of that. You can see this shoulder right here and then this shoulder there. They are a little spread out, so it doesn't look quite right, but just be very careful of that as being a possible resistance here. I would not be surprised if it did almost what AMD did today. You see how AMD also hit a head and shoulders here, and then also ended up falling. But just be careful with NIO. Hopefully, they can break all-time highs and kind of pull a Tesla here and maybe hit like $60 or something. But we'll just have to see how it goes tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be a really big day for them.
And then what do you think about Tesla? I was watching it during the day. I'm not sure how much room it has left in the short term. Like obviously I like it for the long term, but like for the rest of this week I'm a little weary. Like I can see it pulling back. What do you think?
Yeah, I could too. You can really see how in the past, like back in August, whenever Tesla really ran up and then they pulled back, it looks almost overextended just like it was there. And plus the overall market right now is just not doing too well. Like obviously the S&P 500's down. We have the UK now shutting down things, and now there's just a whole bunch of different things coming into the market. There's more politics going on. So I would be very wary of everything right now, especially these stocks that are at highs like Tesla. And just like you said, I like Tesla for the long term. So I'd hate to say anything bad about him, but stocks are stocks, and the charts they don't lie.
Yeah, for sure. And then the next one, we're looking at Ethereum, and that's kind of popping. Bitcoin was pulling back, and Ethereum pulled back a little bit, but not as much. It looks like it's really running up, and these cryptocurrencies are just exploding recently, which is a good thing. And overall, what do you think about Ethereum?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I would say it's just going to pretty much follow Bitcoin. It looks like they all follow each other to the upside and the downside. Sometimes they obviously vary, but it seems like overall, like at least the bigger ones like ETH and BTC, they all like to follow each other. So, obviously, I think if Bitcoin keeps going up, hopefully Ethereum can go up too. But I'd really like to see Ethereum possibly break its highs. Bitcoin broke its highs, and Ethereum just can't quite get there. But obviously, Bitcoin is the more popular of the two.
For sure. I like Bitcoin the best. So with the next question, we have Chris saying, do you believe MasterCard may go up this week? So taking a look at MasterCard, ticker symbol MA, I was actually looking at MasterCard and Visa for call credit spreads for this week. So I don't think so unless like the market turns around or unless they have a really good catalyst come out, then they can. But just based off like a technical level, I don't think so. Do you have a different opinion, Tom?
No, I'm with you. I think they could fall down, especially with the overall market, and they're also at highs right now as well. Their high was 367.25, and they got pretty close to that around 360 here. And you can see that they also hit that in the past and ended up falling down. So I would definitely think that they could possibly move down this week off of those levels.
For sure. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
The last thing I'm just going to talk about is VXX. Whenever the market goes down, this stock really likes to rise. It can be pretty volatile, but I'm really going to be watching it over the next few days. If we start to see stocks get more volatile, and just more news keep coming out, especially maybe in the political spectrum. If that starts affecting the market more, then I think VXX might start to go up similarly to how they went up today. You can see they're up 8%. I'm not saying they're going to go up 8% every day, but you can really see on a daily chart in the past here, VXX has moved up very well. And back whenever COVID was going around pretty rampantly, you can see it went from 13 all the way to 78. So even if we see a very small problem happen in the market, we could possibly pop from 18, up to 25, which would be a pretty good gain. I personally grabbed 100 shares today, pretty low, around 1740, just to go ahead and average in on this and possibly hold it just for a little swing and just a little hedge against the market here.
Gotcha. And I was also looking at Zoom, like we talked about in yesterday's video. I'm really looking to start getting in ZM, like shares for the long term. They had a pretty solid day today, too, up just under 7%. And if these COVID cases start to go crazy again, Zoom would definitely benefit. So overall, thank you guys for watching this video. Comments really help grow our channel. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel already, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, thanks for watching.